Hello, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Week 7 Underdog Pick'em Show. Decided this week to do it live. It has been one that we've just been throwing up on the YouTube recorded, but we're going to change it up this week. We're going to go live. Now, if you are not familiar with Underdog, you should be. They are a great place to get your pick'em entries. They also got best ball. And they have some daily NFL and different contests if you want to do that. New customers, play $5, get $100 in fantasy funds or bonus funds. Try that. Use promo code LineStar if you have not already, and let's go. So in this show, we're going to go over my top 5 underdog picks for the week and an entry that we will be entering. Now, before we get into all of it, I am your host, Tyler Wiemann, and also come join us at Props Optimizer. It is our free prop picking platform on iOS and Android. Come try us out there. If you don't want to view ads, it's only $10 a month, and it can give you all the data you need to make your bets. We also have some fun new tools coming out over there. Good morning, Snoop. Nice to see you, or good afternoon. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to everybody joining us. Now let's dig into it. We're going to get over to the top 5 picks. And we're just going to go right to it today. We're going to start off with Alec Pierce. There's no Josh Downs this week. With that, Pierce probably gets some extra volume. And he's in a spot versus the Chargers, where the Colts have just been absolutely running over teams week in and week out. And I don't think that's going to be the case versus the Chargers. While I do think the Colts are a better overall team than the Chargers, I would expect the Chargers to be able to stay in this game. Then Alec Pierce has been extremely consistent. 68, 67, 48 in his last 3. The first game of the season was 36. I like this spot. I think the target volume is going to be there. And the underdog projection is 36.5. LineStar projection is up to 45. Consensus is 39.8. I think this is a great spot. And I really wouldn't be surprised if he goes for 50, 60 yards. If you want to get real frisky, you could push his projection up a little bit. I do think there is the chance of him hitting it in this spot. Now, he's averaging 54.8 yards on the year. The Chargers have been solid versus the pass, only opponent rank of 3. But if you watch that Dolphins versus Chargers game at all last week, teams are going to be able to pass on this team. And I think the Colts and how well this offense is running is going to be able to move the ball just fine versus the Chargers. So let's go higher than 36.5 receiving yards. Next, we have the 2 Cowboys receivers here. Now, I just threw them both on there because Pickens was showing up at 57.5. As I went in to put my entry, that jumped all the way up to like 62.5. So I don't know if it just jumped up for a second because, people were just hammering the Pickens line or what. But CeeDee Lamb was still at 76. With that line going so high, I ended up putting in CeeDee Lamb over Pickens. I like both of them in this spot, though. I think Dallas will be able to move the ball. The Commanders have a pass funnel defense. And then if you look at the team defense tool, both CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens are towards the top of it. Both of them are in great matchups. I think both could hit. If I'm betting on somebody, I would probably bet on one, not necessarily both of them. But they absolutely both could hit. The Cowboys passing game really goes to these two and Ferguson, and there's not going to be much else. And this does profile as a game where Dak could go for, 300 plus yards. CD so far on the season, because this is our official pick, 4.5-star alert score. He is solid. He's averaging 24.68 fantasy points per game in high scoring games. Washington's allowing 155 yards a game over the last 9. They're up to 167.5 over the last 4. Opponent rank as 27th. And CD is just an absolute beast. We know who CD is. He is averaging 74 yards a game this season, and that is with this game versus Chicago where he left early. He left after the first snap, pretty much. In the 2 full games he's played this season, he's averaging 111 yards. Let's go with CD Lamb, and let's go over. Now, if you are wondering about the Pickens spot, I do love it, and the reason being is I do believe that he's going to see a lot of man-on-man coverage, and I think he is going to have the opportunities to take the top off the defense, and his line is just a little bit low. Now, he is way more boom or bust. And prior to CD coming out, he was at 68 yards and at 30 yards in the first one. I think the line is fine. I think he probably goes over, but with his line in the 60s and CDs at 76, I would rather go to CD, but both are very good. I wanted to mention both as I, expect these lines to be changing throughout the evening and into tomorrow. Josh, thank you for showing up. Always appreciate. Next, we're going to Jordan Whittington. This is a guy that I was high in the offseason. I expected him to play a decent bit as the wide receiver 3, but with Puka out, he is going to take that Puka role. He is a converted running back to wide receiver. They're going to scheme some stuff to get the ball in his hands, and with that, the Underdog projections at 42.5. Our LineStar projections at 49.8. Consensus at 47.5. I think Jordan Whittington is in a great spot. We have a 3.5-star alert score. Now, the Jacksonville Jaguars D has been solid this year, but they're still giving up 165.8 yards per game to the wide receiver. The opponent rank is 27th. The thing that I think is interesting is with Devontae there, we're going to see more of the coverage roll to Devontae Adams, but they're going to still scheme plenty of stuff for Whittington. They're going to try and get him the ball in space and let him go to work. And with that, I think this line of 42.5 is just a bit low. Next, we're going to Jordan Addison. Now, the Underdog projection is 42.5. Our LineStar line is at 48.4 and the consensus at 44. I think this game, this Vikings versus Eagles game, is a sneaky one and going way under the radar. It a 43.5 total, only a 1.5 point spread. We have a 4-star alert score in this spot. And while the Eagles have a solid defense, they can get got. They're giving up 159.8 yards per game over the last 4 to the wide receiver. Mitchell is back. He is likely going to be all over Justin Jefferson, and it's going to give room to Jordan Addison to work underneath. And he's averaging 77.5 yards this season. He's only had 2 games, one where he put up 41 and one where he put up 114. So it's a small sample size of what his average is, but I think this 42.5 line is just low when he's going to get plenty of targets this week going to him with Mitchell all over Justin Jefferson. So let's do Jordan Addison higher than 42.5. And last, but surely not least, we got Rashee Rice. And we are going higher than 65.5 yards. LineStar's at 67.8, consensus at 62.5. Generally do not play it when our projections are as close to the line as they are right now. But we're talking about the Raiders, who are 30th versus the wide receiver, allowing 168.5 or 0.7 yards per game over the last 9. On the season, it's 161.8. Another aspect that I think is very interesting in this spot is Rashee Rice. While he is coming back from suspension, and last year he dealt with his knee injury, he would have been ready week 1. So I'm not really concerned about the injury, as he's had an additional 6 weeks to get healthy. And maybe he's not in full football shape because he hasn't played a game in so long. But Rashee Rice absolutely dominates zone coverage. His efficiency metrics are incredibly good, averaging 11.1 yards per target with a 0.536 EPA per target. And he's been very productive, after the catch in zones. And simply, he is way, way better in zone than he is in man. And with that, I gotta go back to this line. These are the type of games where Rashee Rice has his blow up type games, and the line is only 65.5. Think if we go, another week or 2 into the season, his line is going to be more like 76-ish and probably in the 70s. Now, 65 is a little scary because the line opened up at like 55. But I still like the higher in this spot. If it moves up to 70-ish, maybe pull back. But at 65, I'm still good. At 66, 67, I'm still good. At 68, I'm starting to think about it. At 70, probably just going to go elsewhere. So those are our 5 picks for today. Now, I also wanted to just touch back on Cortland Sutton, who we talked about yesterday on our prop show. The line was, I think, 55.5 yesterday, but I'm going to hit that one again. And the reason being is if I'm going to play a flex, which I did in this situation, I want to do 6 pick'em and do the flex, or I'll go to, 5 and just do a full send. But so I'm doing a flex entry. There is a 60% payout bonus on Underdog, so make sure you hit that. And it brought it up to 39.4 if we go 6 for 6. If we hit 5 for 6, we get paid like 3.5x, which not the end of the world. So what do we got? We got Rashee Rice, higher than 65.5. We got Alec Pierce, higher than 36.5. CeeDee Lamb, higher than 76.5. Jordan Whittington, higher than 42.5. Jordan Addison, higher than 42.5. And Cortland Sutton, higher than 58.5. Oh, sorry. I think I said 56. It's up to 58 now. Obviously, still hitting that one. An interesting aspect of this Cortland Sutton play is Demetrius Thomas, the ex-Broncos receiver, was a mentor of his, and he's getting entered into the Ring of Honor this weekend for the Broncos game. And so there's a little extra meaning for Sutton in this spot, and Sutton dominates man coverage, which the Giants do play at a decent clip. I think Sutton is going to have a big game. And of yesterday's picks, probably my favorite one. So doubling down on it on this one. And that will do it for us today. I will be back in like 10 minutes with the DFS show. Just got to roll things over, get it ready, and I'll be right back. You guys have a good one. Have a great week 7. Let's get after it. Peace. Please like, comment, subscribe, and come join us at Props Optimizer. Download it for all your free picks.